Hello, this is Davis Wumba. So today marks exactly 365 days since I moved away from the University of Zambia to home. Since the time I moved away, some people, women in fact, have been thinking I'm not serious with marrying them. Those women whom I used to promise that, no, I'll marry you after my days at Onza, they now think I'm not serious in marrying them because of one thing: financial muscle. Most people who completed their university or their secondary school are unable to find employment. And this has caused most of women to be either kutikana wambuenda kumidara at my sugar daddy. So I had to think and come up with 4 entrepreneurship ideas which you can learn without capital here in Zambia. Now, one might ask, what made me to think in this line? It's because I've been applying for different jobs in the year from December last year up to date. So in applying or looking for employment, I've been told one thing: I need to have experience. Now, where do I get experience when for 4 years I was at the university studying a course and I was only given about 3 to 6 months for me to have industrial attachment? When someone tells me I need to have 2 years experience from 4 years, where am I going to get that 2 years experience? When the other thing people tell me, especially the elder people, are like, you chaps of nowadays, you're not creative, you're not innovative. Us, we used to be entrepreneurs. Yes, I accept we need to be entrepreneurs. But how can you be an entrepreneur when you don't have capital? So it's for this reason that I had to sit down and think of 4 entrepreneurship ideas which you can learn in Zambia without capital. So these 4 entrepreneurship ideas, some will require you to have experience, but most of them you don't need the experience, because as you move along, you'll be able to get this experience. So, idea number 1. I can see Jonathan, one of the entrepreneurs, is tapping some ideas. Soon you see him venturing into these entrepreneurship ideas. So the first entrepreneurship idea, it doesn't even need to be explained, is theft or stealing. Yes, Kuba. It's an entrepreneurship idea. It just matters in how you do it. But stealing is one of the entrepreneurship ideas which you can learn in Zambia without capital. All you need to do is just having a skill of whom you're going to steal to, or you'll be able to join politics, be in power and steal from the poor. Or you can become a pastor and steal offering from the church. Whatever way in which you steal, but that's one of the entrepreneurship ideas in Zambia you can learn or operate without capital. So for that, I know most of people have stolen before, so they didn't need that much explanation. We'll go to the second most important entrepreneurship idea which you can learn without capital. So this second most entrepreneurship idea is so important and so dear to my heart that I've even formed an organization today for this entrepreneurship idea. And this entrepreneurship idea is called cadreism. Yes. For you to be a cadre. And one important fact about being a cadre is that, one, you have access and control over land. Most of you will agree with me that cadres right now are the one who are in control of most of the lands. The councils are no longer in control of that land. In fact, it's either land mostly is controlled either by the chief, which is customary land, or is controlled by the cadres. Then only a small portion of land is the one which is being controlled by the council. And when you know if you are the one who is in control of land, then you have the means to production. It's for this reason that one of the important entrepreneurship idea is for you to be a cadre. And you don't need even any experience. The only thing you have to do is start going for gym. If you can't pay for an expensive gym, to broke off as long as you build up a bit. After building up a bit, just know how to speak one of the street languages. And this street language can either be Nyanja or Bemba, but be careful with your Bemba. Therefore, ya kopara yeye moneka no kumoneka ti zindango akamba muri wa bosale. And when you are a cadre, be able to control even people will even be fearing you akapokora huta, so just being a cadre. It's for this idea that from today onward, I've formed a political party called Kadarism Party, CP. And for this Kadarism Party, we'll make sure that in 2021, we win the general election. And the moment we win, we shall resign. Now, you might ask me, why are we going to resign? As Kadarism Party, you might be aware that cadres, they enjoy more or they are more empowered during elections time. So what we are going to be doing as Kadarism Party, we'll be contesting for elections. We win. After winning, we resign so that we have by-elections. In 5 years, we need to have 5 by-elections. Through that, cadres will be empowered. So that's one of the entrepreneurship ideas which we'll be running. So all those who would want to join the Kadarism Party, feel free to inbox me. And so far we have a lot of members. All those in Lusaka, Vekoma, Makadazi, all those are our members. In Copper Belt, all those called Makadazi, already are members. It's just a matter of now telling you, for as long as you are called the Kada, you are our member. If you don't want it, then tell people to stop calling you a Kada. So that's the second most entrepreneurship idea you can learn without capital. Now, we are remaining with 2. Going to the third one. The third one is sex prostitution. Yeah. Sex work is one of an entrepreneurship idea in which you can learn without capital. At capital ni moviri. So now, I know most people would argue, sex work, no prostitution in Zambia. Zambia is a Christian nation. I know that. Once I'm mumachimo rwambi nyazi wa machimo yanu so nkancha bezi tenti pangendra as a nation. Let's we make money. So, for your own information, it has about 956,000 prostitutes operating in Lusaka. And these prostitutes are not registered with anyone. They are not registered with a city council. They are not registered with ZRA. They don't pay tax, these prostitutes. But in fact, these prostitutes, they make 70 quarter to 700 per day, depending on where they operate from. In fact, there are some prostitutes which charge 10 quarter a day. And if they sleep with 10 men, that's 100 quarter. Then if we say, according to business, you need, we say 30 quarter, they invest for a room in which they operate from. They remain with a profit of how much? 70 quarter. Do they pay tax? No, they don't. So now, what I'm thinking is, we should come up with an association or regulate these sex workers. So that one, these sex workers, they should start paying tax. Either you like it or not, myself, you pay tax. When you get sick, you go to the hospital, you are given medicine which was bought under taxpayers' money. Well, on the other hand, when a prostitute gets sick, she'll go to the hospital, she'll be given medicine which was bought using taxpayers' money when herself doesn't pay tax. Is that fair? No. So we need to regulate things where even prostitutes will also start paying tax. So if they'll be paying tax, it means that as they go to hospitals, they'll be enjoying the money in which they labor for because they pay tax as well. Then the other thing which I would want for us to regulate prostitution by making it as an entrepreneurship idea is most of us think prostitutes are the one yeah, most entrepreneurship, outstanding entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for that award. Yeah, so most of the time when we think that prostitutes are the carriers of HIV and AIDS. Most of the times we think prostitutes are carriers of STIs. Though to some extent that's true, but again, to some extent, ni boza. Because no man in his normal capacity will go to a prostitute and have unprotected sex. Because right now I might be thinking, chihule chija. Choni kamunga chijie sakuru agaiwe nangu malaivu. Now the guy was joking about that hula we ajie sakuru agaiwe nangu malaivu. Now futi, almost everyone is thinking in that way. Hence, when someone goes to sleep with a prostitute, they'll make sure that they wear a protection. Compared to when someone goes to sleep with someone a prostitute, anika sweet 16 akaninach ngangine moche live. But for a prostitute, uzayo panoyopa, I'm sure the prostitute pochaya sunga stage first nipango that uyo panoyopa nikafika kulas maybe nje kule HIV so ni pangono chi kwa ngeza pangono wayopa. When the other thing is, if we know the total number of prostitutes, let's say where I am here in Zambia, if we know that in Zambia we have 20 prostitutes which we can use to regulate them, it will mean that these prostitutes will have medical checkups. So the transmittable diseases, it will reduce, because these people will be checked regularly with maybe STIs and the like. If she has STIs, we'll be able to tell no. For now, stop your operation. We have suspended your operations until you are fit. Again, the other thing, if we are able to regulate these prostitutes, we'll even be empowering them to know how to collect, use condoms and other preventive measures which they can take to prevent themselves from contracting HIV or giving out those diseases. So it's for this reason that or sex work, I consider it to be one of the entrepreneurship ideas we can operate in Zambia without the need of capital. So guys, you can think around, say, okay, I'll get ready 5. Now booking in a kalumu, I start charging those guys in, I start register na kupakra, cancel, even pay tax, turnover tax maybe every month before 14 what I submit, maripira no ripira. Mlikoche na doctor, mwapeleka for medical check-up, niwa clean where even people come, no, we are going to Zambia for prostitutes. Now, I know some of you are thinking, oyo guys oyo. Akamba pale mahure so. Now, here's how it is. Almost the whole country is surrounded by institutions or by places where there are prostitutes. I'll give an example. Those who are in Mufulira, you know me that there's a place called prostitutes. Those who are in Kitwe, I don't know that in Barclays School, I don't know if it's Barclays Square, around there where my student talks to be from mind. Most of them then again, in the same Kitwe, there is the place at where there are prostitutes who operate every night. There's a place, I don't know the name of the place I was told, but you go to Livingstone roadside, the other name which both been told me at guest house, you go to Monze, there's come to Lusaka, near West, there's the common Maela, the famous Maela, Katete, which was named after the Katete town, which is also known for prostitutes. We have places like Blawayo, where they're saying there are a lot of prostitutes from Zimbabwe. So, as a result, these are just some of the places which in Lusaka prostitutes. I'm trying to think of, there are a lot here I've heard of at friends in a lot of places which some guys, if you know the places, you can just inbox me so that I should have a list of all those places and I should start regulating so that this entrepreneurship idea becomes to light. Finally, we can go to our last and most important entrepreneurship idea that cannot just develop an individual, but that can develop us as a nation. Now, this entrepreneurship idea, I call it lichokazi. Lichokazi. Most of you agree with me. Kinamvera kwantu akambata ija si motoka ija ni coffin ija. Uja muntu sainza motoka chamina ayenza ni coffin. So, if we as a society agree that there are some motor vehicles on the road which are really not motor vehicles but they are car, and people acquired them by, let's say, maybe rituals, why can't we agree or unite as a nation and start producing these motor vehicles at a large quantity? And since we are producing them and we know that these motor vehicles have been produced from ritual killings and ritual things, we don't have to use them in the nation. But what we have to do is we can be exporting them. So imagine we get 20 motor vehicles from ritual killings. Then instead of using them here in Zambia, we export them, we sell them to Malawi. People in Malawi, they start using those motor vehicles, which are a result of ritual killings. Then we get that money which we have sold people from Malawi. Then we buy machineries for now making proper motor vehicles. Have you seen that? It's a wake up idea. So, if we make, let's say, 1,000 motor vehicles, we export. After exporting, the money which we acquire from exporting those motor vehicles, we use it for having a plant to manufacture motor vehicles. Now, the question which is running in most of your mind is, where are you going to get people to be sacrificing for those rituals? I've already sorted that. Drawn how we can handle this. So, I have a list of people which you and me, we can agree that we don't need these people like we can just use them anyway. We don't. For some, have even already signed a degree for them that this one can go. So the first group of people is prisoners. Those who are sentenced to life imprisonment or sentenced to death. Since the time for Kaunda, the president who is supposed to sign the death degree for someone who is sentenced to death has never signed any death degree. So meaning all those people who are sentenced to death in Zambia, they are just being fed in prisons. And if someone is if someone is sentenced to death, it means that those people can't do they're not sentenced with hard labor. So they don't work in any field. They're just seated in maximum prisons waiting for the day in which they will be hanged or killed, and that day never comes in Zambia. So what's the hell of us keeping them avoided by constitution which we signed and agreed? We have already sentenced them to death. So what's the use of keeping them? So that we should be feeding them using taxpayers' money? That's unfair. And for those of you who would say, no, maybe some of those people deserve to live because they are innocent. But the constitution which you and me as a Zambian, we agreed and we signed saying we abide by this constitution, found them guilty and sentenced them to death sentence. It means that we already have their blood on our life. So the one thing we can do, if let's say we have 500 of those people in prisons, let's sacrifice them. So if, let's say each person will produce 5 motor vehicles by 500. How many motor vehicles are we going to have? By the way, at first I said we don't use these motor vehicles. We export them. So just from prisons who have maybe more than 1,000 motor vehicles, we export them. As a nation, we have a lot of money. Even in Yamama Kambati, no, as a nation, we are lacking financial what. I'm telling you, and you can make sure when you sacrifice these people who have a lot of good motor vehicles, then so we are done with prisoners, those who are sentenced to death. Then another group of people or another set of individuals which I think you and me can agree to say we can sacrifice them. Those children who are killed through abortions. Either abortions in Zambia, in the constitution, it was legal, and for you to access abortions, you have to be signed by almost like two doctors, and most of the people, they don't go to government hospitals to acquire abortions, but they would rather go to private individuals or private clinics in which they are given abortion services. In short, abortions do happen in Zambia, though Zambia is termed as a Christian nation. So whether you like it or not, abortion does happen. So instead of letting someone commit an abortion, why can't we just agree, okay, you kana mimba, why? Sufu nkana mwana. So mameno uzachitira, zakushita fandi, wisunge mimba, after wisunga mimba, ukabara zakatenga kamwana, sacrifice. Because in the first place, you don't need that child, and us, we need the child in little killings. So by so doing, those who want to commit abortions, they'll be coming forward. Say, oh, Nami, my friend, to commit abortions. We sponsor them. They keep the pregnancy, they give birth, they bring the child. We do what? We create those motor vehicles. It's done. When Magero, morning after, instead of them taking morning after, we use the children. Rituals. We have motor vehicles. At the end of the day, we find that it will be developing as a nation. Eh? Then the third group of people which we can use in ritual cars, those people who would want to commit suicide. Yeah, those want to kill themselves. So we can have a policy in which we say, okay, instead of you just instead of you killing yourself, you come forward and say, okay, a guy in January spire. Oh, spire in January, okay. So when tu pasa 500 pin, 500 pin, 500 pin, 100 pin, pamaripa ko chikalira kwankali kuma beers zinga pamari, right? Then ka 400 pin, at least from now until the time you commit suicide, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. When the moment you commit suicide, instead of you committing suicide, we use you for rituals. So instead of us losing someone by committing suicide, we empower them that they come forward and we sacrifice them for rituals. And we have these motor vehicles. What we do with these motor vehicles, we export them from South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, all those countries. We are using our motor vehicles as a nation. We are exporting those motor vehicles. And one thing we do that, we don't show them where we manufacture them from. We can just be coming up with my videos, my fake videos. We have my editors in Zambia, Chisenga, we have Venemuma, Venebro, all those people who does editing part of the show. They can fail to edit a clip to show where we get these motor vehicles. They can fake it, my graphics, zingati. We are exporting motor vehicles. We get those money. We use them for coming up with other innovative ideas or funding other projects. Then the last group of people which I think we can agree to use for rituals and have motor vehicles, stupid people. The majority of you agree with me. Once a while you have met someone who is stupid. Okay, but it's stupid. Those people, and some of you have not met, but you find that there are those stupid things which you can do with a certain friend, but you can't do them with another friend. So, which means it also qualifies you to be called a stupid. In short, you also qualify to be used for ritual killings. When another group of stupid people are those who say stupid things. Yeah, like the way I'm saying stupid things now. So I also qualify to be killed and used for rituals. And another set of group of stupid people, they are those who listen to people saying stupid things. Yeah, saying to me now, saying stupid things, and you are listening, some of you even agreeing. Yeah, and even giving me an award. You can also be used because you're also stupid. You can also be used for ritual killings. In short, all the nation can be used for ritual killings. And we have motor vehicles. Exporting these motor vehicles as a nation, we develop and we become one of the most developed nation in Zambia, in the world. So what did we talk about? We talked about 4 important entrepreneurship ideas you can operate without capital, financial capital. What are these 4 entrepreneurship ideas? One is theft, stealing. Then the second one was cadalism, in which in cadalism we have even you and me have even formed the cadalism party, in which you'll be members and I'm the ultimate president. When we win, we'll be resigning so that we have by-elections. The third entrepreneurship idea was sex work or prostitution. Then the fourth one was the ritual cars, in which under ritual cars we identified people in which we can use to kill and make ritual cars. These people include those who are in prison or been sentenced to death, those who want to commit abortion, so get the children, those who want to commit suicide, and us now, the stupid we come in. Thank you so much. You can leave a comment. This has been your host for this important talk show, Ras Davis Olango with an Allah.